although the banks, largely the large private sector banks, although they're profitable, if you look at last 1 to 2 years, they have, or rather 1.5 years, they have by and large underperformed the market, right? Because other sectors were going far more strongly. And there were expectations of rate cuts getting built in. Now, expectation of rate cuts getting pushed out, and maybe people are thinking it's a shallower cycle also. That actually at the margin strengthens their relative earning outlook. So yes, the large private sector banks looks good at this point.
Okay. What about the consumer companies in India, which are priced to perfection?
Consumer companies have had a pretty poor earnings season. Top line got impacted not only because consumer wallets looked like a little, not so good this quarter, but I think a lot of consumer companies getting severely disrupted due to quick commerce.
Yeah.
And because the top line is not growing, their costs are growing, so therefore operating deleverage is playing out. Our view is that consumer, the kind of disruption and slowdown we have seen, it will take time to settle down. Perhaps the best way to play the consumer is through quick commerce companies.
Okay, but quick commerce are intermediaries, right? They're not the production house of consumer products. So, wouldn't you want to be downstream in that supply chain?
No, you could be, but I think quick commerce, the way to think about is, the India's biggest retailers. They've traded very high valuations. Their valuation is still very high. Yeah. Think about quick commerce not replacing, but substituting those retailers, right? And getting your products home in 10 or 15 minutes. And they will have top line as much as them, but with much better ROE ratios.
Right. I do want to get a quick sense from you. We have about a couple of more minutes. Sure. In terms of the IPO pipeline, looking very strong in India, sure, whether it's Hyundai Motors or Swiggy. Is that signaling the top? Is that the reason why the market gave up some of the gains last month? So it's getting a bit frothy?
So in the in the current quarter, what has happened? There was earnings slowdown, there was US dollar strengthening, and the IPO pipeline, right? Everything came together. And I think last time I was on a show, I mentioned that IPO valuations are getting a bit on the higher side. But the good part is that the upcoming IPOs, the promoters notice this, and hopefully they will be far more reasonable while demanding a valuation from the market. Although one thing I say about IPO, and that's the risk that we are watching out, that foreign promoters coming and selling IPO and taking the money out, right? So they are not reinvesting into Indian market. Hyundai, for example, they took $3 billion out. If that happens, then India will end up exporting savings. However, I think there are enough domestic promoters or even foreign companies that are looking to raise IPO and invest into the country.